All right, everybody, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hopefully you guys are having a good day, and welcome to Cigar Chat. My name is Kel. I'm with Handlebars and Cigars. You can follow me on both Instagram and YouTube at Handlebars and Cigars. And to my left, we have
Will Hart from the world famous Cigars. And guess what? You can follow me on the Cigars on Facebook and YouTube and on Instagram, just like my buddy Kel here.
There you go.
So finally made that switch over.
Yeah, you jumped into the pool there.
Jumped into the pool. Deep end, too.
There you go. Well, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Well, look, we're going to get some housekeeping notes out the way. First, shout out and thanks to everybody who watched the show last week. We love you, and thanks for your support. Also, we want to give some recognition to some people, again, that dropped some comments. My man Shockproof, again, 99, appreciate it. I always say you A1 from day one. Appreciate you being a loyal fan. And who do you want to give some shout-outs to?
Man, all the boys from the old Sticks and Sips crew.
Gotcha.
Corey, Ken, Douglas, Mike, Sheldon. Those are the ones I talk to most. They're always on the feed, so I appreciate when you guys watch. Love all the comments you guys give me. They loved our last show, so
great.
I'm really happy about that.
Nice. And also with me, I don't want to forget my man Jason, my cousin Kenny up in New York. Appreciate the love again. And the last show I had a little bit of little technical difficulties, but
on your YouTube, right?
Yeah. I was able to kind of power through that. My apologies to that. This show, I'll have all the bugs and kinks ironed out. And also, too, I don't know, like I said, if you've been following my page, I put a couple of motorcycle contents up. So I'm back. I'm back on the horse.
There we go.
Putting in the miles and being safe and riding with the fellas. We took a ride up to the Casa de Monte Cristo up in Mooresville.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures.
Yeah.
That lounge, I'm telling you.
That lounge
man,
is nice.
that lounge is nice.
But it's not world famous.
And it's not close by.
The Cigarage got nothing to worry about. So look, we're going to jump right into it. Today, I guess I was given the task of picking a cigar for us to smoke. Now, I know you already smoked this.
Yes, sir.
And I think this is one of your favorites, or slash go-to, or all the above.
Yep.
So I'm going to try it out today, too. It is the Undercrown 10-year anniversary.
And I've had this before, just like you said.
Yep.
He already took this little gold thong off. I left mine on just so you can see what it looks like with it on. People usually push it to the side.
Yeah, boom.
Nah, I take it off.
Yeah, I took mine off too.
There it is.
So again, I mean, this is the construction is great. I believe the wrapper is San Andres wrapper, and obviously Drew states I think a lot of it is both Nicaraguan binder and tobacco. Definitely, I love it. To the touch is good. It is definitely firm construction. I'm going to use my favorite V cutter.
And I'm going to do the same. It's just, this is such a nice full cigar. The flavor is right there. I mean, you know, just the smell of that alone makes any person that loves cigars, makes their mouth water. Although cigars will dry your mouth out.
What was that lyric in Breakhouses that make an old man wish for younger days?
Yep.
That's what this cigar does for you, huh?
Oh yeah.
All right, so this I actually learned. I was just there lighting up and smoking, but when I went to Casa de Monte Cristo, the lady asked me, "Did you want me to toast your cigar?"
Right.
I don't know what the fuck you mean by that. We want to hold it up in the
Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Either put it in the toaster, Pop-Tart, or cheers to
Have a couple of kind words before I smoke it or something. I said, sure, why not? So I guess
you didn't know about this?
I guess that's part of the lighting up process.
Yes, sir. I thought you knew this.
Well, I knew of it, but I didn't know there was a name for it. Let me toast this for you.
Let me toast that for you.
What you talking about?
You have a great cigar there, sir.
Exactly. Hear ye.
Hear ye. To the Undercrown 10. That's pretty funny. Wow.
Well, it goes to show you, hey, you learn something new every day.
Yep. That's good. I'm glad you found out that there's actually a word for it. I thought we had discussed this on like that summer 101 cigars, but I guess we didn't.
No, we probably did. You know, you're talking to a person who barely remember what he had for dinner yesterday. You know, so that probably is something that you've discussed, and I let it sink in that episode. And
in and out
the right ear on the on the next, so to speak. But I tell you, first initial pull or draw is good. I love the draw on this. I tell you that V cut. I don't know. I'm just a big fan of the V cut.
I am such a huge fan, and I've said this before too. They should make more V cuts, as giveaways. Whenever they hand stuff out, they always give you the perfect cut or just a straight cut. And, some of the lighters will have the punch at the bottom. But I'm like, whatever happened to the V?
Yeah. Well, it's probably
redhead stepchild?
No. It's probably a higher cost involved to do a V.
Really?
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. Because, like I said, I mean, we're probably not the only ones that think the V cut is a superior cut. But also, too, I guess it really all depends on the gauge of the cigar, too.
I guess that's true. I mean, they've made Vs that will do a gauge of like up to 60 or 70, which, I mean, that's kind of crazy, too. I don't think I'd ever have a cigar that's that thick in circumference.
Yeah.
I mean, like, wow. And I've seen somebody, and it looked like a wiffle ball bat.
Yeah. It came with
Can't we beat that with a bat?
And I mean, you just brought up probably another interesting thing. The guillotine is probably more practical because it's more use.
Yeah.
You can use it from smaller gauges all the way up to
Yeah,
larger
that's true
gauge.
too. That's very true.
The punch, it has to be a certain gauge.
For you to use it. That's true.
And the V's probably have to be a certain gauge to use it.
Okay.
But so far, this is nice, smooth, good smoke, and it's coming at you, medium body. It's not even building up momentum. I'm already getting medium coming out the gate.
Okay.
With this.
Yeah, because I believe this is, and I could be wrong, but I think they said it's a full body cigar.
Okay.
I've always liked this because it's never faltered. It always burns really smooth. The draw is always consistent. Like, I haven't had anything that's either too tight or too loose. It is perfect on the draw. And I love the taste. You're
about like me with the Oliva V's.
Yes.
Oliva V's. Now, speaking of Drew Estate, I'm going to talk a little bit about another cigar in their lineup that is another phenomenal cigar. But every now and then, I do have some issues with it. And this is just me, and maybe I'm doing something wrong. So hopefully you guys could chime in and maybe help me navigate through if you are having the same issues that I'm having, or this is something that might be operating headspace on my part. And that's on the League of Nines. I'm a big fan of the League of Nines, but every so often, if I use, let's say a straight cut on it, or even the V cut, sometimes when I start to get down on the cigar, the little bit of the wrapper from the cat starts to come off.
Oh, I've seen that happen on the nines. Yeah.
So I don't know, am I doing something wrong? Am I cutting it too high? I'm not hitting the cat line? Or help me out on that.
It's hard to say because I've done it too, and it not necessarily on the League of Nine line. I have seen it on the League of Nine. Don't get me wrong, but I've seen it on a few cigars, and I think it's just how they wrapped it sometimes. And there should be instructions sometimes, like how low do you go?
Yeah, base.
Oh, yeah, and what cut should be used for a specific cigar.
Like a recommended cut.
Like a recommended cut,
okay.
Exactly. Because I know that there's some that the tip will go out like a torpedo.
Yes.
And they usually tell you to cut it at an angle with
Correct.
A straight.
Yes.
For the flow. I haven't seen any recommended cuts for a 9, but then again, I haven't been looking.
Okay.
I think that's one thing we should investigate. Why not, right?
Yeah. Well, look, guys out there, if y'all had some of the same issues that I just referred to, leave a comment down below because, again, I'm just inquiring minds wants to know. And like I said, that's a great cigar. That's definitely in my top 5 dead or alive. I enjoy smoking that cigar. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong for that to happen, or you guys are having the same issues.
Or if it's just the cigar build itself. Yeah, maybe, I get that.
Maybe the guy rolled it on a Friday at 4:59 versus Monday at 8:03. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta love this. It makes total sense. The Flintstone bird is like yelling the alarm.
Yeah, you pull the bird.
Yeah, and it's over. But yeah, you know how I feel about the 9 as well.
Yes.
I'm more of a 9 than a 52.
Correct. Me too.
So I've had plenty different sizes, gauges. I mean, I've had the ones where they were, especially the box cut. I always put a V, and it's usually on, like, if you take the box cut, it's never a perfect square. It's usually a rectangle. So I usually have it flat, and that's where I'll cut my V into it.
Okay, so you cut
like, I don't do it on the long side. I do it on the wide side.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's kind of how I cut, like, most
you
box
get more
press.
coverage too, like that too.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. You're keeping more of the tip as well.
Oh, okay.
Because the sides are wider, so you're keeping more of the tip on your left and your right hand side when you cut the V down the middle.
Nice.
But all the other ones, I mean, I barely use punch anymore. It's very rare when I do, but it's on some cigars where they use either a very small cap or the cap has a lot of flavor. So I don't want to lose that, and I'll usually punch it. But you have to be very careful, and your punch has got to be seriously sharp. Like this V that always gives you that perfect cut. You got to have a punch that's not going to, cave in that tip on the top and bury it in there.
Now, again, I might be wrong, but I think I've seen somebody else do this one time before when utilizing a punch cut. I kind of moisten
the
tip
cap.
The cap a little bit.
All right.
Then I use the punch because if it's at all a little dry and not seasoned,
It'll
correct,
crack.
It'll crack all that up for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've learned that too.
Yeah. Then it's like you smoking one of them cigars that explodes on you. You know
Oh
what
my
I'm
God,
saying?
yes.
Yeah, you're taking a draw and spitting out.
Yeah, half the cigar.
Yeah. Now I know it's not a common thing. I guess some people might frown upon that. But I'm not talking about moistening the whole cigar. I'm just talking about just the cap. So when you make that first impression.
But the thing is, they frown upon you doing that and using the house cutters.
Correct.
You using your own, ain't nobody care.
Exactly.
You can slobber all over your cigar and use your cutter.
Yeah,
ain't nobody care.
A bucket of spitting.
You're like, let me cut it.
Yeah, boom.
So I just wanted to be clear on that.
Correct. You're absolutely correct.
But yeah, when you see somebody slobber all over and they're like, "Can I use a house cutter?" Yeah, buddy.
Oh, you better bite down on it.
Oh man, that's a rough thing, you know. Yeah. And I've seen people that have like little scissors.
Yeah.
Some people use knives. Like I think that's why they give away some of them knives at like the Barn Smoker and like some events. But I mean,
they almost got like a knife. It's almost like a scissor. Got a little hole in the side.
Yeah.
You shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what was it? Those paper cutters.
Yes. Old school paper cutter.
Yeah.
Man, like pretty much what they cut the cigar with, right? Because that's how they do it. They use that cut. How's your burn going?
Great, man. Look at that.
Yeah. I think yours is better than mine. I had to touch mine just slightly.
And I tell you, the ash almost reminds me of, I guess, an ash tree, so to speak.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice,
with the way.
Yeah, nice gray. It stacks up real well. I have a slight wave, but, that's really nothing to write home about. I'm splitting hairs at this point. But it is producing a good smoke. I like the fact that it's burning. And this is the type of cigar you definitely, for me, I could put down, have a conversation, come back.
It's still lit.
And it's still lit.
So, meant to ask, is this your first Undercrown 10?
No, this is not my first Undercrown 10.
Okay.
I had it before. Actually, I had it a couple of times at our local brick and mortar. Shout out goes to the cigar shop out in there's an Indian Trail, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys out there, Mike. Boom, appreciate it. Another great place if you're visiting and want to check out a cigar store. Definitely check these guys out. I give people shout outs that gives me shout outs back, and they offer.
Well, they're great people to begin with, and it's such a great shop. Yep. You're always welcome. I think we even talked about that when we had J-Lo on the.
Oh yeah.
Talking about the Brotherhood.
We did one of our shows from there.
Yeah, and that's right. We did a live show from there. Yep. In like that little back room.
Yep. And they give military 10% discounts.
Oh.
That's another reason why I like them.
You see Kel smiling. Oh yeah.
Hey, if you're gonna offer it, hey, you got to, if you don't ask, you don't know. If you don't ask.
There you go. Very, very true. And today, because it is October, I'm having the Leinenkugel Oktoberfest. So I figured, let me try this one out. It's only like 5.1%. I almost feel like it's a summer beer more than an October beer. Yeah. It's kind of light.
Oh, okay. So what is that? Is that like a wheat type of beer? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this Leinenkugel family, they've had so many different ones out. They usually come out with the Oktoberfest, during October. Mm-hmm. One of the ones I really miss that I don't find here is a Sunset Wheat.
Oh, okay.
That's an awesome summer beer, and I could actually drink it dead winter. It's just good. I think what gave them competition was when they came out with, what was that, Shock Top, which is a cheaper version. It's kind of basically, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like a cheaper version of it. But I love the Leinenkugel. There was something special about that flavor.
We could say a watered down version.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's use a watered down version.
Watered down version.
There you go. Thank you for correcting me.
Not a problem.
Yeah, that's why I got you here, man. Keeping me in line. I love it.
Shock Top, if you're listening, feel free to give us some beers and change our mind. in our opinion on your product.
Shock top, shock proof. Love it. But there's a few other beers that have gone by the wayside that I used to like. They used to have, and this going back to like the 80s, early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah, we go back.
They used to have Heineken Dark. Man, that was good.
Really?
And I'm normally don't like Heineken. It's just there's no need for all that bitterness. Mm-hmm. And I used to remember having Heineken in the can used to give me a headache, like instantly. I could do it out of the bottle, but not in the can.
Not in the can.
Oof, no. But if anybody remembers Heineken Dark, chime in and tell me what you thought of that. And tell me if it should not come back. I mean, that was one of those dark beers that was just so easy drinking. You know, it wasn't a porter, it wasn't a stout. It was just a darker version of their Heineken.
Since we're going talking about throwback beers, I got one for you.
Go for it.
Now, I'm not the beer connoisseur, so don't judge. But back in the day, I would say mid-'80s,
Okay.
there was a beer out there, and if you guys have drank this beer, I want y'all to chime in on this. It was called Private Stock. Private Stock.
Private Stock. Was that a gold label?
I have no idea what label it was.
Okay.
But the thing about that beer was this. Inside the cat, there was a little daggone puzzle you had to figure out.
Yeah, for what? Before you drank the beer?
Yeah, that's crazy. 4 or 5 beers in it,
You're starting to see numbers and letters popping out.
Exactly, you're cross-eyed.
That's hilarious.
But that was, I guess that was their gimmick. They had a little puzzle inside the
if you can't figure it out, you can't drink it, and you should definitely not drink another.
Yeah, that was your time to go ahead and hand somebody your keys.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're done.
So, if anybody remember Private Stock, chime in and let me know.
Oh my God, Private Stock.
Yeah, it probably wasn't a good beer as far as good beers are concerned. It just had the little novelty of having the puzzle inside the can.
Man, I remember in high school, we would try Colt 45.
Oh, my God.
We would have St. Ides, and somebody had turned me on to St. Ides. And we're talking back in the 80s, we call them the 40s.
Yep, the 40s. Yep.
And somebody I was hanging out with, don't remember the name, but popped open the bottle, took a swig, and the Dole pineapple, remember the little can? Mm-hmm. We'll pour it in the bottle with the St. Ides. I don't know if that was some Queens ghetto type shit in New York, but you know what? The beer wasn't bad after. Well, then again,
yeah,
I mean,
your palate wasn't.
What you know when you're in high school?
Exactly.
Ooh, it's beer and pineapple. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we was going for having our palate tickled. We was going for a buzz.
Yeah, we're going for a buzz. We're going for whatever was cheaper that day, whatever was on sale.
Now you was St. Ives. For me, it was Old English.
Ooh, yes, I've had that
English.
too.
Yeah, Old English was it?
800, 400?
800, 900. I can't remember.
The Old English 800 Daytona.
Yeah.
The Indianapolis St. Ides.
That was the 40s I got introduced to.
Wow.
OE.
The OE, man. I don't remember the last time I had any of that. I know people are going to chime in mentioning their old school ones. I think when I was a kid, Germany, we had all kinds of different flavors and different manufacturers.
You was in the Mecca of beers.
Yeah, and beer was cheaper than soda, so I had beer before I had soda. That's just my childhood growing up. Yeah. Now you know why I like beer. No, but I know coming to the States, one of the first beers I've ever had was Coors.
Okay.
But then again, we were living in Washington State. Now, I mean,
yeah.
What you gonna do?
Exactly.
Not the greatest beer, not the worst beer. It was a beer.
It was a beer.
And this is going back to late 70s. I was a young cat. Probably preteen to teen.
Yeah.
Before like rules and regulations were in place. They're like, oh, you want a beer? Here you go.
Oh. So that's a good question, guys. Yeah. Let us know what beers that you had that was like, I ain't doing it for the flavor.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it for the buzz. For me, like I said, when I was a teen coming up, it was the Old English. For you, it was the St. Ives. I remember my early days in the military was that red, white, and blue.
What, Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Well, Pabst too.
Yeah.
But there was a beer called Red, White, and Blue.
It was just called Red, White, and Blue?
Red, White, and Blue, Doc. Yeah, I think you get a case for like $6-7 or something like that,
Man.
But again, we wasn't, swishing around in our mouth and
going,
writing.
What do you think?
Yeah, writing your little notes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, you cracking them open and you chugging.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you start realizing that there's good beer out there, and I think our man Dave Neely had mentioned it on one of the other shows that he was on. Mm-hmm. I was listening to that podcast, and yeah, David, if you're listening, I want you and those boys to come down here.
Yes.
Because I was listening to that podcast, and they were drinking some of my favorite beers.
Really?
Yes. And they had mentioned the Trappistas Rockford 10. And I've been looking for this holy grail called the Trappistas Rockford 12. I heard it's out there. Never been able to find it. Mm-hmm. I know they came out with a triple. But when they described it, I was like, man, I wish I was on their show. It's like that was one of the turning points on really, really delicious beers. And I remember my brother-in-law, big wine guy, never really cared for beers that much, had him give it a taste. And this was at the Thirsty Monk up in Asheville. Shout out to Asheville and the Thirsty Monk, because that's the first place I've ever had it. And I had taken a list from New York, and I come down and I show the bartender the list. And she was like, well, we can't serve the first three. And I'm like, why is that? She goes, it's illegal in the States. I'm like, well, shit, let me start with number 4, which happened to be the Trappistas Rockford 10. So serve it in a nice big bucket-looking glass. I don't know the names of all the glasses. Mm-hmm. It's a bucket-looking glass, looked like a margarita type, right? Took a sip. I'm like, oh, man, it's hit different. So I said to my brother-in-law, I'm like, bro, give this a sip. He took a sip, and he goes, I'll take one of those.
Wow.
Never really cared for beer much. Mm-hmm. I'm like, the only beer he usually drinks was like Presidente. Gotcha. And Presidente Light down in DR. Mm-hmm. But he tried this. He goes, man. I was like, doesn't it taste like chocolate silk? Like, that's the best way to describe it. Somebody had asked me, what does it taste like? I'm like, imagine chocolate silk. That's it.
Wow.
Just those two words. And when I heard Dave talking about it, or his boys talking about it, and I was like, man, I want to shout out through the radio. I'm like, somebody say chocolate silk, because they came real close. It's like, man, it's got this chocolatey smoothness. It's smooth like chocolate. I'm like, no, it's silky like chocolate. You know what I mean? Like, that's what kind of hit me. I was like, man, we got to have you down here for like a beer thing too. Because there's so many different beers that after that, I was on the hunt for anything better than that. And I have yet to find it.
Wow.
I know they were talking about Barnabas or Barnacle. They couldn't get the name right, and it was hilarious as hell. St. Pernicious, Barnabas, whatever it was. See, even I can't remember that.
St. Bernard? No?
Yeah, the St. Bernard, no, he didn't have it in the little canister around his neck. But no, hit us up. Like, let us know in the comments. Yes, you've had those, cheap beers. Yeah. But then what got you into thinking, wow, I wonder what's that next level? What did I hit? Like, wow, what was that? Something that was an eye-opening taste bud experience. Like, woo, man, this is good.
I tell you what did it for me when I went to Germany. Hofbrau and Schweibenbrau did it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I really liked those two beers. Because I'm really not a big beer drinker. If I do drink a beer now, it's probably a Blue Moon, or maybe a Corona, something like that.
Okay.
But you have almost no choice to drink beer and have a taste for beer if you ever get stationed over there.
Oh my God! If you're in Germany, once again, like beer is gonna be cheaper than anything else.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. You go to McDonald's, say, I'm beer, I'm Big Mac, and I'm Pump Fritz.
Yeah. And you're good to go.
You're good to go.
That's a real Happy Meal.
Yeah, that's the number one.
No, that's the real Happy Meal.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they don't talk about it here in the States, but that is the Happy Meal in Germany. You're having a burger, fries, and a beer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a Happy Meal. Yeah, I was just thinking about some of the other beers, you know, that they've had throughout, because I know Trapezus Rockford has a 6, an 8, and a 10. Like I said, I heard about a 12. Is it real? Is it this unicorn that I'm chasing that's never going to be found? Like, I don't know. So if somebody's ever seen it, tasted it, let me know.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, too. Will's going to probably splice in his beer wall.
The beer wall. Yeah. I'm going to have to take a picture and throw that up there just so you understand
see the body count.
the body count. Let them bottles hit the floor. Oh, my God. Hey, it's almost bringing back that childhood memory. 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Right?
Yeah, we're having fun. And you know what? My ash just fell.
Well, I helped mine fall because I didn't want it to fall.
Look, we're at this, man.
Yeah, we're down to at least the first third. And it is picking up a little bit more. Again, the smoke is great. You can't beat this. I think this is one of those cigars, pound for pound. You're going to have a good experience with it.
I don't think it's a beginner cigar.
No, it's definitely not.
It's definitely not a beginner
cigar. You make sure you have something on your stomach.
Something in your stomach, or somebody next to you that can help you out.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely, because it will creep up on you.
But this is 100% delicious. Especially for us, we like the more heavier, darker smokes.
Correct.
So, you know, it's not like we're doing one of the shade Connecticut's where, you know, we're breathing air at that point.
Yeah.
And I love giving those away, especially people who are first starting out with cigars.
Good introductory.
Yes, definitely. Yep,
100%.
100%. And that's also Undercrown, you know.
Yeah.
But it's the shade, and it's the very light. I think it's their lightest version. You know.
And shout out, goes out to Undercrown because I think they understand that cigar smokers come in not only all shapes and sizes, but all different skill levels too in terms of the cigars that they like to smoke and enjoy. So they got some good stuff there for people who just starting out, or if you just want to have a change of pace and have something light, and they gradually go up the spectrum.
Well, see, that's the other thing though. Like, I could imagine myself having a shade with coffee in the morning. Like, it's a great morning smoke. You know, for people that smoke throughout the day, that's something to start with. It's definitely not something you want to end with, because you'll be like, "There's no flavor to this."
Well, the other morning I had that Asian room and a nice cup of coffee. That was good. They both kind of woke me up and helped me get my day started.
That'll rev the engine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There you go.
Most definitely.
I love it, man.
But I tell you, I think the transition is probably going to, again, continue to build. I know you smoke these things a lot. So talk a little bit about, what's that second and third looks like? Does it really pick up a lot of momentum for you?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
to be quite honest, it's a solid stick throughout. Okay. Like, the way you begin, the way you end. You know how there are times where we'll talk about, like, man, just with the first burn, you're getting something. And then you're an inch in, you're like, ooh, I taste this and that. By the time you get halfway, it transitioned into something else. This, all it gets is a little hotter and stronger towards the end, because you're getting to that nub part of it. But as far as changing flavors or changing aromas, or Anything else? No. It burns the same way, it draws the exact same way, and it tastes the same way.
Okay, good. So very consistent throughout.
Very consistent. And there's never an issue with the cap, at least not that I've seen when I cut the V into it. Mm-hmm. Never seen it unravel. I've never had a 10 that actually unraveled at the base of it or in the middle somewhere.
But that's
even when you take the wrapper, the band off, no issues. And props to that. I mean, just to let you know, if you want a perfect consistent stick, you don't know what to pick one of these up.
Now I forgot, what is the price point on this?
You got me. I think it's around the 10-ish area, so it could be 11, 12.
Yeah, all right.
It's around there. It's anywhere from 9 to 12 from what I remember.
Okay. That's a good price point.
I mean, then again, I've gotten so many of these for free at this point from being at the Barn Smoker. Hence why you got one too, or more than that.
Yep.
They are an excellent smoke. That's all I got to say. I mean, it's just good. It's just good. Yeah, this is definitely one of the top 5 in my book.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they introduced this on a Freestyle Live.
I believe they did. I think they was, because I know this is the 10-year anniversary of Undercrown.
Right.
And I think they did it like, not only for that, but I think it's a 25-year anniversary for
Drew Estate as well.
So it was like a double anniversary type of deal.
But I think, because they did a couple of freestyles, I don't remember if this was the first one or not. Because I know, going backwards, it was Adobe. I think it was the 20 acre. I think this might have been the Undercrown 10, the first. Yeah, Freestyle Live. Could have been. Like a mystery stick, and everybody's trying to guess it. I'm like, damn, it's good. And that's like the last one they had, which was the Blackened M81.
Yeah, the M81.
Man.
That's a good stick.
Man. It's like if you gave me both, it's like, do you want to keep the house or your wife? You don't know which one you're going to pick. Yeah, can I have them both?
You better pick the wife.
Yeah. So, for me, it's like the M81 that they just came out with is so close to this for me. It's different flavor, but the consistency, the draw, and everything about that stick is just delicious, just as this is.
So is that M81, is it out in stores yet or not yet?
No, still not out. I know that a couple of shops, even the cigar shop on Indian Trail, I know they're having an event December 1st.
Okay.
To introduce the Blackened. Spoke to the manager there, and shout out to Mike. He said hopefully he'll have it before then, and if he does, who's gonna grab a few too.
He'll let you know.
Man, he'll let me know. Gotta get some of those.
Good to be VIP, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Oh, well, you know what? I think we're gonna probably shut it down.
All right.
I think today's episode was great. This Undercrown 10 is a good smoke. I definitely will smoke it again and again. I mean, I smoked it before in the past, so I'll definitely give it a thumbs up for me.
Two cigars up.
There you go.
See, there we go.
Cigars up, and I know you probably do.
Oh,
do
please,
too as well.
please, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now it just clicked. I should have the Undercrown 10 with a piece of this Rockford 10. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, that might be on the next.
Just may happen.
I might have to cue that one up.
Seriously. Wow. Either that or I'll tell you how it went. Maybe I'll have the 10 for the next half of this cigar.
Boom. Yeah. Well, look, guys, gals, appreciate you guys checking us out again as always. Again, my name is Cal. I'm with Handlebars and Cigars. You can follow me on both Instagram and on YouTube at Handlebars and Cigars. And we have Mr.
Will Hart from the world famous Cigarage, which can now be followed on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go. I got all 3 platforms lined up. And I know that the Facebook page is the Cigarage. I'm trying to separate it from my personal page, but you can always find me, William Hart, on Facebook. But on Instagram, it is the Cigarage, and on YouTube, it's the Cigarage channel. So check it out.
Nice. All right, so that's going to do it for today, guys. As always, I want everybody out there to be happy, to be healthy, to be safe. But more importantly, I want you guys to, what?
Be easy.
Till next time, you guys have a great day and enjoy your cigars. Take care.